Hey y'all, this is Dr. Tasha Rogers and I am back with the story. Y'all heard the story. It is actually Medical Moment Tuesday because I thought yesterday was Sunday. But anyway, girl, so a couple of things as far as the channel is concerned. If you are new to me, welcome, honey. It is vibes, good energy, and a bunch of medical knowledge and empowerment on this channel. I don't play about my nieces, my aunties, or my unks, okay? Also, guys, if you are familiar with the channel and you subscribe, if you don't, what's the problem? Subscribe, like, and share, because you got to make sure that this is being fed into your algorithm, because you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss it. Also, if you already subscribe, we now have memberships. I just felt like I needed to engage a little bit more with y'all. Like sometimes y'all have questions and it's like, I can't answer that question like off the rip. Like I need more information. I need to be able to kind of go back and forth with you. I want y'all names to get a little bit more familiar. So just for engagement purposes, and like tonight, I will be doing a video for members only that will express my personal views as far as, and I can't say that in an open forum, as far as this topic is concerned. So make sure, if you have not become a member, what you waiting for? Click on the membership button, because it's going to go down. Lives are going to be some lives. Like we're going to do some lives, and then we're going to go over to the extended version of the live, and that'll be for members only. You know, definitely I'll be answering y'all's questions, and y'all will kind of get a bird's eye view, and y'all will get first knowledge of things that I have coming down the pike. So it's going to be a good time. And then for my members, we're going to go live on some instances from the retreat as well. If you have not gotten your retreat tickets, what you waiting for? It is going to be a whole situation. Definitely a Dr. Tasha event, and I'm so proud of where we are this year. If you're like, well, I went last year, baby. You didn't go. You didn't go. Last year ain't nothing compared to this year. It is literally gonna be like y'all are on an island somewhere, and we are doing this for the weekend. It is going to be amazing. But anyway, so Medical Moment Tuesday this week. Want to talk about the HIV numbers, rates around the country, and then we're going to talk about Atlanta. You know, I'm glad, but I'm not glad. I'm glad that now this is an issue, a topic, something that is in y'all's faces, because y'all know I don't play. Y'all know I work with Vive, which is a company that makes up, it's a company that focuses purely on HIV and AIDS. The medication, it makes medication for prevention, but if you convert it over, the other medication that it makes is for treatment. So either way, Vive has no motivation in you becoming positive for any reason. Their goal, the whole message of the damn company is the cure is in prevention, and we'll get to what that means. But so I've been an HIV prevention gangster since about 2013, and actually probably before then, since about 2012, basically when it first started. I've been a prevention gangster, and it's a big thing. So over the whole country, over the entire country, you know who has the most cases of HIV? The dirty South. Can y'all really fit the dirty South? Like, it is crazy. We account for more than half of the HIV in the country, the South. Okay, I just saw some recent statistics on New Orleans. Not New Orleans, that's not fair of me. Louisiana. 60% of the people in Louisiana have HIV. 60%. That means that if you got 10 people around your dining room table, theoretically, 6 of y'all have HIV. Another 15% got gonorrhea and chlamydia. The clap, baby. Another 15%. Like, what are we doing? And I don't blame the people. Like, it's not all people, right? What are we doing? Atlanta. It is 8 months into the year. We just crossed over into 9 months, but we just completed 8 months of 2025. I had to get my years together. Of 2025. We now have 20,000 new cases of HIV in Metro Atlanta alone. That is not in Smyrna. That is not in Decatur. That is not in any of Stone Mountain. No, that is in Metro Atlanta. That is is crazy. Let me break it down on some more craziness. Black women are 12% of the population of the country, 12%. We are 70% of the new HIV cases. Make it make sense. And most of them down south. I'm mad. Like, I'm mad. And I'm going to tell you why I'm mad. I gave a talk the other day on behalf of Eve. And I was with other Black providers. And I'm like, we are the blackest city in the country with the largest number of African-American physicians per capita. And we have the worst numbers for HIV of Black people in the entire country. We are failing not only our patients, but we're failing our people. I stand 10 toes down on that. Anybody got a problem with it? That's what the comments are for. I'm not mad. And no, we can't control what people do, but I am a firm believer that in order to be successful at treating Black patients, you have to understand our culture, not our race, but our culture. You have to understand how we think. We pollinate. We pollinate. And if you don't understand what that means that when we get together as a group, if we're talking about a particular subject, if you know the most, you're going to be like, no, because girl, and everybody's going to listen. And they're going to take that to somebody. And they're going to take, that is how we learn as a culture, okay? We pollinate. And so my job has always been, and I've always thought about it as, I want to give you the proper information, right? I want you to have the proper information so that when you sit at brunch, when you have your lamb chops, when you have your crab legs, and a topic comes up that I may have taught you, then you can give proper information. And you can say, no, I was talking to my doctor and she did cool. Let me tell y'all what she told me. She told me boom, and she told me bam, and she told, you know why? Because I know when these conversations come up, Pookie, who done read 2 pages of the encyclopedia and then jumped on TikTok, is now a self-made authority on whatever it is y'all are talking about. So if Pookie sounds like she's making more sense than you, they gonna listen to Pookie. So, and when I say they, I mean the people who you are sitting with. So my job has always been to know what Pookie's gonna ask, to know what Pookie is going to say, to know what questions the group is gonna ask. Arm my patients with the information to have a conversation to make sense, to have them understand. And then people be like, oh, okay. And then my patient will trust me and come back and say, yeah, let's do that. Or let's have a conversation about that. Or yeah, I was talking to my girlfriends about that. Bang, that's all I want. I am never forcing anybody to agree with me. The only thing I want is to make sure you understand me. And if you understand me and you like, yeah, I understand, but I still want to do what I want to do, baby, you grown. And it's called free will. The Bible even gives you that. It's called free will. I don't care what you do, but as long as you understand, I have not failed if you understand. Make sense? And we as providers are not taking the time to talk to people. And it's a lot of time because we're repressed. Like I told my colleagues, when's the last time? Like I do anal pap smears. It ain't I don't care how much anal sex you have, baby. That ain't my business. Enjoy yourself. If you remember my podcast, I was trying to teach y'all how to do it safely and with a little bit of comedy, because it ain't my business to judge what you do. My business is to keep you healthy and keep you safe. That is my job. That is my business. I don't care what happens at the house. I don't care what happens in your relationship. That ain't my business. So at the end of the day, I do anal pap smears because if you, just like somebody can ejaculate in the vagina, they can ejaculate in the anus, HPV. What is it also called? Anal cancer. So just like I'm paying attention to the cervical cancer, your girl is paying attention to the anal cancer as well. But that requires you being open enough to be like, so you have anal sex? So what y'all doing? You backdooring it, mommy? What's going on? And I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with who I am, so I can be comfortable asking you questions. I don't come with violence. I don't come with anger and with maliciousness. So when I say these things to patients, they receive it in peace and they know that I'm trying to help. And so a lot of providers are afraid to have this conversation. But whatever the situation may be, you as a patient, you need to be empowered. If they're uncomfortable, that's on them. If it makes you too uncomfortable, find another provider. But when you walk in, you need to be like, yep, I had unprotected sex. I know I was off the chain. I need to be tested for everything, including herpes, because herpes is not just something they test for. You have to specifically require it, including herpes. Number 2, thanks. Also, I did have anal sex last week. Can you know, make sure I'm good? What we need to do? A cancer screen. So your pap smear is done once a year as a cancer screen. So when they do this, the cervical cancer screen, make sure they're doing the anal screen as well. Period. Go in and know what you're talking about. Now, I said that I was going to show you guys how to remain HIV negative in a city where there is so much HIV right now that it is rampant. And it's not that it's so much, it's what it always was. It's now just getting shine and esteem, and the numbers are going up. They're not going down. I had a 21-year-old come in my office one day and say, can you tell me what HIV is again? And that's okay. I'm glad she wanted to know, but how the hell are you preventing yourself from getting something and you don't even know what it is? So everybody is always like, oh, the down low brothers, Atlanta, the down low brothers. And some girl did a video, y'all single people. No, not just the single people. My last couple of diagnoses were married or engaged. Like, so don't say single people, because that puts, y'all are thinking in a box, and I don't like that. It is anybody having sex with another individual. Point blank, period. You think this little 21-year-old ain't got no zaddy? You think she ain't got no OG, no sugar daddy nowhere? Well, if she don't know about HIV, how is she protecting herself from it? She's not. Not with him, not with the 25-year-old boy she having sex with, not the 30-year-old man. So I don't believe in high risk. I believe in risk is risk. If you having sex with another individual, then that's it, honey. It be it the deacon at the church. You know what they do. It don't matter who it is. It's all, I tell people all the time, it's always the S550 pulled up to the projects. That ain't the neighborhood dope boy. That is your husband while you at the Jack and Jill meeting, sis. Period. So let's not act like I'm married, so I'm better. I'm married, so it doesn't involve me. We're into the church, so we're not into that. Only person you can speak for, sis, is yourself. Period. That's why the numbers are so high, because down in the South, so people are so fake conservative. So you have the church who doesn't want to welcome anybody in other than the fake conservatives. You have the people who are, ooh, I'm married, that's not me. Fake conservatives. And we can't mesh and reach people where they need to be reached because you're fake conservative. But anyway, so at the end of the day, the reality of the situation is, how do we prevent you from getting HIV? Because you were like, I wear condoms all the time. Then one time the condom break, what you gonna do? So a couple of different things. You've heard me talk about sexual hygiene before. One thing that I'm big on is PEP and PrEP. PEP and PrEP, PEP and PrEP, since we're talking about HIV, PEP and PrEP, okay? So PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis. That means that before you're exposed, now we have a shot. The shot is called Apritude. Yes, insurance companies do cover it. Yes, most insurance companies cover it. If your doctor doesn't want to give it to you, look up a bunch of different organizations in Atlanta, AHF, AIDS Atlanta, ERC, all of these people. If you have a private doctor like me, I definitely prescribe it for my patients, and it has to be administered. They're on an every 2-month regimen. The first shot is 1 month. The second shot is the following month. And then after that is every 2 months. You get tested for HIV before you get a shot. Please don't try to come for your shot without getting tested for HIV. That is how we make sure that from shot to shot, you remain negative. It is 99.5% effective. Do you hear me? 99.5%. So just like Depo used to be every 3-month shot and you didn't get pregnant, this is what Apritude. Every 2 months, you show up for your shot, you show up for your testing, you will not have HIV. Okay? Just trying to tell you, it is out there. The cure is in the prevention. It is not always about a down low brother. It is about the pick me mentality. These women out here wanting to be picked. They want to have a clothing allowance. They want to have a wig allowance. They want to have a lash allowance, and they don't want to work nowhere. Okay? And so what they do, they allow people to do whatever they want to do. They don't ask any questions. All the things. So you got the pick-me's, you got the down low brothers, you got the conservative women who never thinks it could be their man. All of that, you put all that together, and then you make Atlanta the melting pot of the South, where everybody comes to do their foolishness, and then you have the numbers that you have. PrEP, 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 PrEP. Okay, PrEP, PrEP. I need to get a tattoo across my forehead. How you doing, Dr. Rogers? Prep. Don't even say nothing. Just prep. That's how I feel when it comes to, okay, you didn't prep. Let's say you didn't prep. All right. So, and you feel like, all right, I've had an exposure. I didn't prep. Pep. There are pills. There are pills. If you get those pills within 72 hours, and I don't even tell my patients 72, I say 48, because the earlier you get them, the better, the more effective they are. So I say within 24 hours, the condom breaks. You don't know somebody's status. You was drunk in love, this, that, and the third. You learn something like, wait a minute, this didn't seem right, or this didn't feel right. Whatever, you get to the doctor, you get to the, not urgent care, they don't know what they're doing, but you get to the doctor, you get to the ER, you get to somebody who's willing to prescribe you some PEP, 1 pill a day for 30 days, and that provides like a 98 to 99% effectiveness that you will not contract HIV if you take it every day for that 30 days. Please, 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 it is ways to prevent. In order to not get HIV, it is about prevention. It does not go away, because people be like, oh, I had it, and it's going to, no, you had it. You still have it. You will always have it. You are now undetectable. But that does not mean that you don't have it, because if you stop taking your meds, you will become detectable again. So please don't let anybody convince you that they had it, but they no longer have it. No, boo-boo. No, boo-boo. They still got it. You still got it. You still got it, sugar. Okay? So prep. If your doctors don't know about prep, excuse me, I need the shot. I want to prep. I don't care if you think you're outside. I don't care if you're married. I don't care what it is. If you're having sex with another human being and your husband ain't bedbound, which means he can't get out, and then you still got to be careful because the nurse who come in and help clean him. So at the end of the day, if you having sex with a whole nother person, it does not matter. You are a candidate for PrEP. You don't have to be a hoe. You don't have to be a trans. You don't have to be gay. You don't have to be outside. You don't have to be single. You don't have to be black, white, young. Oh, baby, if you're having sex with a human, you are a candidate for PrEP. Do not forget that, okay? If you have any questions, drop them down below, especially if you're one of my members. I hope this video helps somebody. Love y'all to pieces.